Super Cool Radio!
Hey everyone, before we jump into the show, I want to tell you about our merch store on Threadless. Shop a wide variety of logos with multiple colors and sizes available for each design. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps us continue to make killer content like this episode. Please visit supercoolradio.threadless.com or the link in the description to shop now. Hello everyone! I'm Matthew Thomas. This is Super Cool Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in on your favorite streaming platform. I got a great guest with me at this time. He is the bassist for Tampa-based hard rock outfit Weapons of Anew. Please welcome Reno.
You make it sound so professional and fancy when you introduce me like that. Thank you.
Okay, I always work. Intro to me is the most important part, and I have to make you sound the coolest for Super Cool Radio.
I think you definitely accomplished that goal.
All right, very good. All right, we're going to cut. We're done now. All right, so I don't got much to discuss. Obviously, the upcoming album, the new single, all of that. Before we get to discussing all of that, I've got a fun question to kick this off. What has been the best concert you've been to and the best concert you've performed at?
Best concert I've been to was probably that's tough. It's a toss-up because Primus and Incubus at Roseland in like 1990 something, pretty epic. I saw Primus there like 11 times. It was really great. But I did get to see Pantera and Slayer at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. You know, it's a hard toss-up, but yeah, both. I'd say both.
Those are two very solid picks. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to see most of those bands, unfortunately, because I'm only 24, but it would have been awesome to see those bands.
Yeah, it was pretty killer, dude. Pantera in an arena with Slayer in an arena. Yeah, it was pretty epic. I must say, it was pretty epic.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
All right, so how about the best concert you performed at?
Oh man, I gotta think about that one. It would probably have to be one of the many shows on the Scott Stapp tour. They were just really great rooms, and crowds were great, big. You know, getting to live the rock and roll dream, dude. So like, you name it, any one of them, they were all pretty freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, I bet I've seen Scott Stapp live. Obviously, I've talked to people who've toured with him as well, and they always have super great things to say about him, and one of the nicest people in the music industry.
Absolutely, 100%.
For sure. But a fun question to kick this interview off, because a new question I incorporated for this season, because live music obviously a huge part of the music industry, of course, a huge part of any touring band as well. I know people, there's a lot of like bass player jokes and like people dog on the bass player, but extremely important part of the rhythm section of any band.
It depends who you ask. I mean, I'm familiar with all the jokes. Like, it's cool, whatever. It's cool, you know what I mean? But I shake the building.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Sound check's my favorite part because I'm like, oh yeah, just when the girders start to vibrate, you know that it's all good. You get the thumbs up. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, no problem.
Very good way of looking at it as well. So now talk about Weapons of Anew. So you guys kind of regrouped a little bit very recently, added a couple new members as well. Has adding Richie and Luana?
You were close. Lunia,
thank you.
You get a gold star for it. No problem.
Well, I do try to the best that I can with pronunciation, so thank you.
Right.
So Lunia, have adding these members changed the direction and sound of the band?
I think we kind of, Fred had decided like we wanted to do something a little more, forward and direct, for the next record. I mean, as much as I love, the songs off of the first record on Collision of Love and Hate, like it definitely speaks more towards a metal background, or just like like riffs and heaviness. You know what I mean? Like, not that it's not catchy or hooky, but it's definitely not. You know, let's try and make this thing something a little more straightforward and digestible for people. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely some cool stuff sprinkled in there, but it's definitely more, straight ahead also. You know what I mean? And they've been nothing but a great addition. Linnea is a super tight, super solid drummer. I love playing with her, and Richie's got a great voice. He's awesome. Showman in the couple shows that we've done since we kind of, reignited our thing, and like, it's great. You know what I mean? It feels super comfortable. Everything kind of flows. I couldn't ask for anything more. You know what I mean? Super awesome.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. And from listening like from the older material and now up into the recent release, Break the Ties, I can tell there's definitely a shift in like the music of it. It seems as you said, a little bit heavier, a little bit more straightforward. But I'm really digging where you guys are going with the music.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Yeah, Freddie wrote the fucking awesome record, dude. Him and the producer really knocked out a whole bunch of awesome shit, and I'm just awesome, blessed to be, a part of it and able to play on it and add my little, sprinkle of flavor into it. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
For sure, for sure. And since I did just mention the brand new single "Break the Ties," currently released out on all of the streaming platforms, I encourage everyone to check it out and give it a listen. So for you, what was the recording experience for Break the Ties?
They had pretty much like most of it down. Freddie had actually written that one with Logan Mader from Machine Head. So I guess Logan came in with like the bones, you know what I mean, and like kind of how he wanted it to be, and they collaborated, and I come at the end of the day, and they're like, yeah, check out this awesome song that we have, and I'm like, oh, this is great, you know what I mean, and I come in and I'm like, all right, well, let me do my thing on it, and kind of mirrored what Logan had down for like the rough bass tracks and shit like that, and it came together awesome, dude. I'm like, yeah, this is. I was a little weird for me, like playing a bass part that someone else had like put down. You know what I mean? And I, was a little bit like, I want to do my thing. You know what I mean? But dude, it worked out great. Like, it fucking totally kick ass. Like, and it's fucking fun as shit to play live. You know what I mean? It's actually one of my favorite songs off the new record to play live, because it's like a killer groove. The bridge kind of breaks down a little bit heavy, but it's definitely all there. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, dude, it is a killer single. I really like. It's got power. It's got some power behind it. It's a very hard hitting song, but I really like the groove of it. It's just it has just a very different sound to it. And it really hits you in the face when you listen to it.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much.
Or so for you,
trying.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I from the press release there, I heard, I read about the new single. I heard that it was kind of delayed due to the pandemic. Like, how did the pandemic affect like the releasing the music for you guys?
I mean, nightmare. It would be like an understatement, dude. Because like, Sick Boy was out for like a couple of months, and we go in the studio, and like, all of a sudden, like, we're writing and we're doing and we're recording, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, guess what, everybody? Like, the world has decided that it doesn't want to do anything anymore. The world has shut off. You know what I mean? So we had pretty much everything like more or less hashed out and recorded for the most part, like for quite some time. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating, because like, oh, we feel like we have this great thing, and we're getting all this positive feedback from people we show it to, and it's like, yeah, we can't put it out yet. Oh, they canceled a year's worth of tour. Like, you can't go on tour because all these other guys that got their shows canceled have to go on tour first. You know what I mean? And like rightfully so. You know what I mean? So we kind of been sitting with these songs for a while. So it's like it's weird because it's new to everybody else. But dude, like we've heard these songs like a bazillion times. Like I've heard these songs like a gazillion, million, trillion times, and it's like it's not new to me. But when when people hear the new stuff, they're like, "Oh man, this is awesome!" And I forget. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you haven't listened to this like a million times. You haven't been living with this for like a good year or so." You know what I mean? Where now is the time, and like it's so far the response has been great, dude. I can't ask for anything more. We're getting a lot of love. We're getting a lot of press. Spotify's doing its thing, all that stuff, all that internet wonderland of stuff that bands are required to take part in now. It's not just like, handing your CD to the record guy and the radio guy and being like, here, play this. Like, it's a different world. It's a different world, and that's taken a lot of getting used to also. You know what I mean? I'm so old where it's like, yeah, you go to the record, like you go to the club and you give the guy the CD. Now it's just like, what's an online press kit? Oh, I know. It's like all your stuff in the thing, and you send it to someone, and it's got all your press and pictures of you and your bio. And I'm like, but isn't there like a hard copy of that? Like, don't we just go get the guy like the stuff? So it's like there's definitely a learning curve. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because it's like, wow, stuff's so different. Stuff is so different.
Yeah, the whole landscape of the music industry has definitely changed a lot. Like as you said, like radio was like the goal for a lot of bands. You have to get radio play, but now there's Spotify, which is a huge part of the industry now. Like you have to be on Spotify playlists. You have to make all the connections, digitally. For people from different parts of the country around the world. There's just it has changed a whole lot. Like we're talking like I'm in Indiana. You are, you're in Florida where you are. So like, they're it's so different nowadays.
Crazy, dude. It's crazy. And I forget, like, it reminds me of how old I am. You know what I mean? It's fucked up because I'm like, yeah, I feel good. I'm young. I'm a young dude. And then like all this new stuff is happening. And I'm like, what is all this stuff? I don't get it. I need some kid that's your age to like teach me about it. Like, okay, this is the internet and this is how it works for your band. And I'm just, yeah, cool. That's cool. Like, do you know how it works? Because I don't. Oh, you do? Okay, you do that. Whatever you say. If you say that's the thing, we win. It's a thing. You know what I mean?
I will say it's kind of funny for me. Like if I talk to someone like in high school age, like they have like there's always lingo when you're in like you can tell like which generation someone's from by what words they use. But like I talked to somebody from high school, I was like, what? Well, like, how'd you use that? Is that a verb or an adjective? I can't tell.
Language has definitely changed, without a doubt.
but I mean, it's just so cool. Just getting back to everything. Yeah, it has changed a lot, and obviously, you have to keep evolving and changing to keep up because the bands who don't, they're going to get left behind.
Unfortunately, that's the case. It's a constant like, oh, this new thing, this new thing, this new thing. But it's cool and it's exciting to like watch the process and be like, oh, okay, this is kind of neat.
Definitely. Now, a big thing I did want to talk about as we're coming to the closing end of this interview. So you guys filmed an awesome looking music video for "Break the Ties." How was it on your how was it for you being a part of the music video?
It was awesome. It's not the first video I've ever done, so I'm kind of like familiar with the process. But James from Kill Devil like makes it super easy. Like like we all have opinions. There's 5 of us, but like for this kind of stuff, I think at least in my case, I'm just like, listen. You're the dude. You're the video guy. You have the vision. Like you heard the song. Like you're in touch with the vibe. Like whatever you want to do, dude. Just tell me the monkey to dance. Dance, monkey, Reno. Dance, run around, do your thing. Whatever you need to do. I'll do it as many times as you want, and we'll get it done. You know what I mean? And it was like super painless. Like. He's a joy to work with. He knows exactly what he wants. You know what I mean? If it's good, he's not going to work you over the coals. Where like, oh, I need you to do like this 30 times, and because it gets tired. Usually it's like, you're up at 6 in the morning and everybody's setting stuff up, and it's just like this whole big thing. And then by the time you're ready to actually like, do the shit, it's like 2, 3 in the afternoon. It's like, fuck, I've been here for like 10 hours, and now I have to muster up all this energy to like, mime the song like a million times. But dude, super painless. The concept was super awesome. And like honestly, I think he took it easy on me. I was supposed to be in Florida the day before, but I ended up missing my flight, so I had to book a flight for the next day at like, dude, like 5 in the morning. And like we were supposed to like call was like 9 or 10 o'clock or something like that for everybody to start showing up and like doing all the stuff. So I'm like, I'm like off the plane in Richie's car, like to my house, shower, change, to the studio. Like it was like boom, 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 boom. Totally, like I didn't even think I was gonna make it in time. I'm like, oh, you guys will have to shoot me remote or something. Like I don't know, but luckily I made it. And like, dude, it was like a super easy, like killer day. Like it was killer. He was like, oh yeah, we're good. And I'm like, what do you mean we're good with like the whole thing? He's like, oh yeah, yeah, we're done. We're done like by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, fucking awesome, dude. Totally killer. And the finished product is awesome, dude. That light wall in the back, everybody looks great. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, it definitely is. I love the whole the wall of lights behind you guys, and the way he shot it, the way he really like highlighted each of the individuals too throughout the music video. It turned out extremely amazing. I'm gonna drop a music the link for the music video in the description of this podcast. Make sure to check it out. But it was
Awesome.
so cool, and like it really captured, like it was very energetic, the whole music video.
Well, you try, you try to make the edits fast, try everybody, liven up and do your solo shots, and everybody has the band, you know what I mean? Like, so it all comes together well. Like when I look at like the raw footage and it's like hours and hours and hours, just like stuff, it's like, man, this is a lot of content, you know what I mean? And then he like just goes through it and makes it like this awesome thing. And I'm like, fuck, man, like that's killer. That's totally killer.
Oh, it definitely is. As I said, a link will be in the description. So, Break the Ties. This is the first song off the upcoming 2023 album, Art of War. Where, like, can you give any hints about like the new album? What people can expect?
What can you expect? It's different, dude. It's gonna be different. Like if you like Break the Ties, like there's definitely some stuff, that's along that line. We got the heavy groove. There's definitely some stuff with some riffs. There's definitely, ballad of the year type stuff. You know what I mean? Like we, try to do, a lot of different things that are similar. You know what I mean? So it kind of tells like a cohesive story about where we were at that point in time in our lives. You know what I mean? When everything was kind of getting worked out. So I think it's really great. I think it's actually really great. There's some heavier stuff. There's some more straightforward stuff. The hooks are killer. Freddie wrote nothing but A plus, top of the line. Hooks. Richie's great. Everyone's great. Everyone's great on the record. You know what I mean? Like it came together really great. So what to expect? You can expect awesome Weapons of Anew music all the way around. You know what I mean? Not a skippable track. You could definitely run it all the way through and be like, yeah, that was a solid experience.
Well, I definitely look forward to hearing it when it's released in 2023. I love Break the Ties. Awesome taste of what the new album is going to be, but I definitely look forward to hearing the complete album as well. So as I'm wrapping up this interview, I do got one more thing I did want to, we've covered so much ground in this interview. It was a great time hanging out with you. So a question I have not asked in a while, because I know it's a little bit more of a challenging question, but for you, what has been your most favorite moment from your musical career?
Oh man, that's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up because it's been a long time. It's been a long time, man. All right. Our first show with a previous lineup. We played, it was like Michigan or something like that. We were on the Alter Bridge and Non-Point tour, and we hadn't like really played any shows as a band, and we were in the middle of recording like the record, like the producers in town, and it just came up like, hey, do you want to go on tour? And we were like, yeah, sure, why not? You know what I mean? So it's like, we're working on the songs in the basement 20 hours a day, recording all the tracks, all this stuff, doing our day-to-day like regular people stuff. And then one day, you're driving across the country, and like, I had been on tours before, I had played big shows before, but it was like weird. Like, we're all standing backstage and you peek out and the fucking place is full, dude. And it's like, man, like we were in a boiler room yesterday, like working, we were in the studio yelling back and arguing with the producer like yesterday, you know what I mean? And like, there's like 2,000 people out there and they have no fucking idea who we are. You know what I mean? Like, they know who the other two bands are. Like, that's super cool. They have no fucking clue who we are. You know what I mean? And we like look at each other and we're like, yeah, like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, it was like fucking surreal. Just going from like regular schmo guy, you know what I mean? Like, not thinking anything of anything. Like, yeah, pack a suitcase. We're leaving and we'll be gone for a month. And then there you are. Like the lights go down and it's like, oh shit, like we're about to rock the shit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we haven't done like mega big shows with the new lineup yet, you know what I mean? So I'm sure that will come, again. But like that first one, it was just like really special. Like, wow, I don't deserve to be here, but I'm here, and we're gonna fucking crush these people with the power of rock and roll.
That sounds like a really great moment, and thank you so much for sharing, because that sounds like an amazing experience.
It's pretty badass. Anytime, honestly, like that one just sticks out. But like, you get to go on stage with your family, you know what I mean, and rock the shit out of people, and like get that connection, and there's nothing like it in the entire world, you know what I mean, which is why, we and I like stay doing this, you know what I mean, because it's the greatest feeling in the entire universe, you know what I mean. Like, shit, just playing through loud amplifiers, through a loud sound system, like, I don't care if nobody's there, you know what I mean, like, I'm loud, yeah, like, you know what I mean, it's just the power,
That's right. And oh, for sure. I like how you said that, that's the power of rock and roll, because it definitely is, and it is truly a uniting force with everybody as well.
That's the beautiful thing about it, doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, like, universal language, dude.
Exactly, 100%. So, last thing for this interview, what is 2023 looking like for Weapons Anew? Obviously, you got the new album coming out. What else do you have in the works?
I'd like to tell you that I have a solid answer for that question, but unfortunately, there are a lot of unknowns. You know what I mean? I know we're going to put another single out. Do I know when? Not 100%. I don't know, when we're going to put the whole record out yet. There's a team of people that do things, that tell us when things are going to happen, or we discuss and we decide. Like, that's the best course of action. But I definitely think you got some new music coming to you early next year. And, hopefully if things work out right and the response is right, like, we're coming out and we're gonna rock out all over, the beautiful country. You know what I mean? Like, it's only a phone call away. You know what I mean? And then obviously, as soon as that information gets relayed to us, like, yes, it's going out on the social media. Like, everyone will know, But right now, I don't know. Maybe there'll be some one or two, they'll pop up. Weapons of Anew is going to come rock your shit, between now and, the next couple of months, but you never know.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. But I definitely look forward to seeing where you guys go from here. Obviously, with the new lineup, the new music, all of that. I'm definitely very excited for Weapons Anew and what is to come.
We appreciate the support, dude, as always. You know what I mean? Anytime anybody reaches out or wants to know what we're doing, like, it's an honor. You know what I mean? Like, it's super cool. I appreciate you taking the time, having us on, and discussing all the stuff that's going on. So, shameless plug. Go stream our stuff. Go watch our video. Go do our stuff. Merch is coming. I promise, merch is coming, and when that comes, there'll be a link for that. Buy our stuff, stream our stuff. Yeah, all that stuff.
Right on. I'm going to drop some links for Weapons of Anew in the description of this podcast. Please check out stream support and give a like to Weapons of Anew. Reno, I had an amazing time hanging out with you. Thank you so much.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's all mine.
Of course, for Reno of Weapons of Anew, I'm your host as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.